Growing up in Lewis Place, I've seen the vacant and dilapidated houses. I know the type of feeling that I have in my spirit when I see that sense of destruction. But I'm very solutions oriented. And so when I see a problem, I'm always trying to find the solution. And so what I aim to do with this position as executive director of SLDC is to rehab those houses at a rate in which we create affordable home ownership for the residents, but also create a program in which developers of color have an opportunity to purchase those properties, rebuild those properties, and build and scale their organizations as a whole as well. So if we're creating wealth building from the development process all the way through the home purchase process, then we're intentionally and directly addressing many of those gaps simply through the rehab and repair of those homes, which are critically important to the overall strength of our community.
Sitting in a black-owned coffee shop.
Yes.
Would you like to see more black-owned businesses? And is there something that your organization can do about that?
Definitely. So SLDC has a critical role in providing access to capital, technical assistance, mentorship, and business support for women and minority-owned businesses. At this time, Black-owned businesses specifically have a higher turn-down rate and decline rate as they apply for a loan to start a business, but then they also are charged higher interest rates. And so those are things that we have to address head on, because as banks, again, I come from a bank, or underwriting, they're solely basing this criteria on the credit worthiness of a business and that person who's starting that business. And so as we aim at SLDC to really help build the capacity and technical assistance support for many of these women and minority-owned business entities, it will help level the playing field and create opportunities for them to not just start a business, but grow and scale their business and hire employees as well within the community. And that's what will really make an impact in our community at large. There's definitely a strong business case for addressing these economic inequities. So 45% of our population in the city of St. Louis is Black. And so if we have over 45% of our population that is not being served, that don't have adequate and equitable access to capital, then we have a large population of our people that's actually not able to contribute to the economic system. And so if we have over half of our population not contributing, then we're losing out on what's possible for our region. It's not about taking pieces of the pie from certain individuals or businesses. It's about growing the pie. And if we're able to create thriving wage jobs that addresses poverty, that addresses crime, and that it creates opportunity for our economy to grow and be more robust. We have to invest in the people that are currently here. We have to invest in the real estate that we currently have in order to close these gaps, in order to address these issues, and ensure that the individuals and families that have been invested in the city of St. Louis have an opportunity to stay and benefit from the economic development that's to come. So one thing that I definitely want to make sure that I hit on is anti-displacement is a key component of the strategy that I'm hoping to bring forward.
Say that again.
Anti-displacement.
Anti-displacement.
Yeah, so as we hear about gentrification all the time within the region, and once a community begins to increase in value, many of the residents that have lived in those areas begin to get pushed out. And so what we would like to do here is really to say, we want to make sure that those residents who have been pillars of their community have the opportunity to benefit from the economic gain of the investments that we're making in those neighborhoods. So we want to make sure that they have home repair and renovations. We want to make sure that the tax burden on them that is being felt is not so great. And so it pushes them out of those areas. And so we have to be very strategic on how we place these investments and developments in specific neighborhoods and communities to make sure that everybody has an opportunity to benefit from it and not just a certain group of people. So that is really the business case for it, is if we're all able to really contribute and support each other, it will be a cyclical impact. If we're all able to contribute towards the economic gain of us all, then it will have a cyclical impact on how we all benefit from it. So if the businesses are actually able to benefit from the community members being stronger, if they're able to employ residents at a living wage and a thriving wage, then those residents are able to create new businesses and employ, and overall our ecosystem of success for St. Louis will begin to rise.
It builds on itself.
Exactly.